Hey everyone. When you hop on, say hi. It's 8 o'clock. We're going to get started. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make this cute little box to hold cards. And I would say you probably could get maybe 10 cards and 10 envelopes in there, as long as it's not a lot of embellishments. Okay? So let's set that aside, and we're going to make this one first. I'm using Misty Moonlight, sorry. Is that the one I want? Yeah, Misty Moonlight. Your box lid is 7 1/16 by 8 7/16, and we're going to score it at 5/8 and 1 1/4 on all four sides. Okay, so 5/8, 1 1/4, turn it, 5/8, 1 1/4, all four sides. For the bottom, that is, I got my dimensions here, 8.5 by 9 7/8. Okay, and you're going to score that at 1 and 2. 1, 2 on all four sides. 1 and 2. Okay, on all four sides. Now we're going to do some cutting. We're going to cut up to this second score mark. Hi Denise, welcome. Second score, you're going to go up to the first score line. And then over here, you're going to go to the first score line, and you're going to cut that whole section off. Then you're going to go to the first score line, and then would be the second score line. So you want it to look like this. Okay? You're going to do the same thing over here on all four sides. And then make a tab by going up. Okay? So we're going to do the other side the same way. Up to the first, cut, to the second. Hi Linda, welcome. And you're going to cut up there. Okay? We're going to do the same thing to the last one. So your box itself should look like this. Okay, your two tabs here on the end. So now we're going to make a little cut on all of the edges. And this one you want, on the sides here, you just want to do to the first score line. And you're going to do the same thing to the lid. Hi, Renee. Welcome. This is the longest part of making the box. Yes, we are all doing, I'm doing very well. Thank you. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. Same cut. Okay. Same thing. I'm already putting my edges on. Oh, did that wrong. I cut this off. Okay. Just looking to see if this is right. It is. I promise you, once you get all the cutting done, all the scoring done, it doesn't take long to make the box. Just a matter of cutting and folding. Okay. All right, let me get this mess out of the way and we're going to put it together. I went ahead and burnished all my score marks, okay? So what we're going to do is put some glue on these small tabs. They're going to go in here and attach to the sides, to the bottom of the, and you know what? Yeah, I'll do this. I'm going to use my liquid glue. I was going to use, so we're going to put glue on all 4 tabs. Okay? And we're just going to bring it up and match the corners and make them even. And the last one, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see. I'm just gluing the corners together. Okay? And then I'm just going to take and bend these back a little because you're going to put glue on these. Make sure your corners are stuck. They will get tucked on the inside. So you're just going to fold that over. like so. Then you're going to take your bone folder and you're just going to run it along the inside just to make sure that glue holds. And the last one. Okay, that is your lid. So we're going to set that aside and we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. Put glue on the tabs. We're going to bring it up and make them even. And this one. And the last one. Okay, and then we're going to put glue on the outside again. You could use your tear and tape. You want something strong to hold it. I use my liquid glue because it gives me wiggle room in case I don't have the sides even. So we're going to fold that in. Okay, then we're going to take our bone folder. We're going to burnish those in to get the glue to hold down. And the left side. That will be your bottom, and this is your top. It's always hard to get on the first time, but after you get it on and off, it will be easier. Okay, so now we're going to decorate the top, and I'm using the Floral Impressions DSP. Your lid, this is 4 1/4 by 5 5/8, and it's basic white. Fresh freesia is 4 1/8 by 5 1/2, and then this one is 4 by 5 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to glue them all down. And like I said, this is your lid, so you want to make sure you don't take the bottom of your box. And that's going to go on here. It's just a small edge around them, but enough for you to see the different color. And you want to make sure if you're using directional paper, you have it going the right way when you cut it. Yeah, it is pretty. It is a pretty color, Renee. Okay. Then this piece is 3 1/4 by 1 1/4, and that's fresh freesia. So this would be 1 1/2 by 3. And that's going to lay here. Did I tell you right? Yeah, 3 1/4 by, I'm sorry, 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay. So I am going to get with you in mind, and I think thinking of you is going to be too big. You know what? We're going to do that since I have one that says happy birthday. We're going to do thinking of you. And I'm going to get my Misty Moonlight. And we're going to ink this up. And we're going to stamp it down. Okay, the T's off a little bit, but I'm okay with that. We're going to glue that on here. And we're going to get some dimensionals. And we're going to put that up here, like so. So then you put your lid on, and you have your box so far. Okay? So now we're going to work on our cards. The first one is going to look like this, but this is using Floral Impressions. Okay? So, fresh freesia, 8.5 by 5.5. And you're going to score that at 4 1/4. Okay. Then you have a piece of Misty Moonlight, and that's going to go as your next layer. And then this is for the inside, and that's 5 1/4 by 4, the same as your Misty Moonlight. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there a while. Okay. And we can go ahead, and before we put that down, we're going to build this. This piece here is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. That's going to go up here. Okay, leave a border around it. This is the back side of this paper. And this one is 3 3/4 by 2. That will get laid like so. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down first. Okay, and then we're going to put this one down. And I'm eyeballing the bottom so that it's lined up and even. Okay, this is just 1/4 inch by 3 3/4. Yeah. So we're just going to put a little glue on that, and we're going to lay that right over top both of those. End to end. Okay, this is just a piece of basic white. It's 1.5 by 3.5, and we're going to get Misty Moonlight, and we're going to get Thinking of You. Okay, that will go down here, and it just gets glued right on the front. Oh, I made that a little bigger. I'll have it down there now. Should have cut that a little bit. And then we're going to put that to the front. You can still see the little bit of the green. Okay, there's my card for this box. Oops. And that's for that box. The next one is going to be something like this. Okay. Hi, Gina Marie. Welcome. I showed how to make a box, so you'll have to go back and watch the replay for that. This was my first card, okay, and I'm working on the second one. Garden green, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And then I have another piece of, hi Dolores, welcome. 5.25 by 4, and I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine. Oh yeah, Renee, it's a lot easier. Okay, so let me get the cut and emboss machine so I can do this, and it's using the brick. Using the 3D wood. I thought it was the brick. And it's a 3D embossing folder. So you will need plate number 1. And plate number 4. And you want to make sure when you use a 3D embossing folder, the folded part here goes in first. Okay? And then you would lay your number 4 on top and just run it through. And then when you open it up, you get this lovely pattern. There you go. Renee, I've been doing since 2004. Okay. Then I cut 3 pieces of DSP. Um, these two are the same, but I'm using one front, one back. Okay. So one, this one's going to go here. This one will go here. And then this one will go here. Okay. So I'm going to glue them down. And then the next one. Yeah, my sister Linda and I, we've been doing crafts more than I've been a demonstrator. And we used to scrapbook and everything before I was a demonstrator. Okay. And then I got a 2 3/8 inch circle. And I am going to use thank you. I know we have a thinking of you, but you can do it as an alt occasion. So let me, oops. And I'm going to get garden green. And we're going to stamp that in the middle. And that is going to go on the front, and it's just going to get glued down. I'm going to put that right about there. Okay. And then I went ahead and in the paper, they have these leaves and they have these little flowers. So instead of fussy cut them, I used a 1/2 inch circle that we used to carry. Okay. I am going to lay, trying to think where I want to put it. I'm going to put it right there, I think. I was going to put it here. I think I'll put it here. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. Like so. And then I am going to take these flowers and I'm going to put them down here at the stem. Like so. And then that goes on the front of the card. And then this piece of scrap paper. Oh, thanks, Gina Marie. This was just left over. It's 3 1/4 by 5. I'm going to put it on the inside. It's not my normal size for inside, but I figured it was extra. So instead of putting it in my scrap bin. I'll use it for the center. That is card number 2. Card number 3, very simple one. This is the one that I did for this box. I'm using Strawberry Slush. Is that the name of it? Yeah. It's a returning old in color. And I found when I was going through my old stuff, I found a whole pack of Strawberry Slush cardstock and a whole bunch of 12 by 12. Okay. Strawberry Slush 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Thanks, Renee. Okay, this is Garden Green and is 4 by 5 1/4. That will be laid here. This is for the inside. Then I have front and back. Okay, piece is going to go here, and this piece is going to go here. I use Garden Green to bring out the green in the leaves. Thanks. Yeah, it is a pretty color, Gina Marie. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work on this before I put it on here. So I'm going to put some glue on here, and I am going to lay it like so. And then we'll glue this one down. And there's not much between them. I could have had that over a little more, I guess. Before I put it on the front, I'm getting, I think this might be on Last Chance. I'm not sure if it's still available, but I am gonna put this on the front. I wanted to do it before I glued this down, so I had to cut it at the end, and I didn't want to do that with this one. So I remembered to glue this down, or before I glued it down, to put this on. I'm going to use my old snail just to put some glue there to hold it down. Make sure it's straight on the front. Then we can put it on the front. I always like to put glue on the ribbon. Put that there. Okay. Then I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to tie a knot. Okay. Now let me find a pair of good snips. Nope, not that one. There we go. I want to trim these up a little. Our snips are going away. Just so you guys know, they're having problems. The manufacturing that makes these are no longer making them. So Stampin' Up! Is trying to find another supplier to give us our, hopefully the same quality of our snips, because they are awesome, I think. Okay. This one's going to go on the inside, so I'm going to just put this on, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put that in here. That's a little smaller. It's 4 by 5. 4 by 5. Hey, Deb, welcome. You're watching a replay from camp? You're not on now? Okay. So then I grabbed some scraps, garden green and basic white. And I need to get hello. And I'm not sure where that came from. Let me find it here. Here we go. It's on Everyday Arches. Yes, block. And we're going to stamp hello in garden green. That wants to stick. Okay. And that's going to go on here. And this is like a 3/4, and this one is 1 inch wide. Okay. And what I'll do is just take my scissors and cut this down. Okay. And then I'm going to just glue this and then just cut it. And then I'm just going to cut the end. And that'll get at the bottom. Like so. Okay. So that is our third card. And the last one. Now I changed this up a little bit. I didn't care for, this is using two different DSP. This is the front and back. This is front and back. Yeah, mine does too, Renee. I just try to get it straighter. So I'm using one different DSP. This is crushed curry, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Okay, that's a little rough there. I must need a new blade. Okay. Then I have 4 pieces for the front. I have one that is 1.5 by 4. This one is 1 inch by 4. This one is 1 7/8 by 2.5. And this one is 2 by 2.5. Okay. So what we're going to do, this is going to go here. This is going to go here. This will go in the middle. And I'm leaving that the way it is. I was going to turn it and put it this way, but I think I like it better that way. Okay. So we're just going to put that together like it is. And then the last piece. Okay. And then I took the 2 3/8 inch circle and cut a garden green circle. That will go right in the middle here. Then I took this piece, which is 2 by 1 3/4. I'm going to stamp best wishes. In garden green. Okay. Best wishes. Okay. Let's close this up. And then I'm going to glue this on here. Try to make it even all around. I got ink on my fingers. Okay. Then I'm going to take my snips right down. And I am just going to cut off the corners. Like so. And then you get that look. And I'm just going to glue that right on the card front. Okay, that is my 4 cards. I will bring them back. The 4 cards I did tonight. Okay, and the box. And the 4 cards using the other DSP with the box. And these are the boxes. Hi, Rosie. Yeah, I just finished, Rosie. I'm writing down names of people that are on tonight because I am giving away some of my retired product for because of my birthday being yesterday. Okay, so I wrote down the names for tonight. I think I got everybody's from Thursday. I am not sure because I didn't write them down, so I tried to remember. And from Monday. So your name will be in a drawing, and if I don't announce it on Monday, I will announce it on Wednesday, and then let you know what you won. Thanks, Rosie. All right, these are the cards. Like I said, these are the ones I did tonight. These are the ones that I did earlier, and this is the box for this one, and this is the box for that one. Let's see if I can bring them in here so you can see. Slide these over a little. That one's there and that one's here. There you go. And they do fit. I should have grabbed some envelopes, but they will fit in your box. This has 2 in, I forgot. I did a card using strips that I cut these in half and then put paper in between, cardstock in between. I had these left over. This one's using a Firma pack. Night, Linda. All right, guys. I am gonna put these in here. Who knows? I might give one of these away. So, okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate every one of you. And that's okay, Gina Marie. It was yesterday. It was just another day. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will be back on Monday, 8 o'clock.